Every lantern holds a story. Tonight, one will shine. 6 travelers walked into the tea house that afternoon. Before sunset, only 5 could be found. No one remembered the 6th person had ever been there. The disappearance was never reported as a crime. Police records showed only 5 visitors had entered the tea house that day. The story might have ended there, if journalist Lin Xia hadn't noticed something everyone else had ignored for years. Every missing traveler had visited the same quiet tea house before disappearing. No other place appeared in every single investigation. Inside, the tea house looked perfectly ordinary. Friendly customers laughed, fresh tea filled the air, and nothing suggested anything was wrong. Then Lin Xia noticed something strange. Every table was occupied, except one. A single untouched cup of tea waited beside the window, still warm. Lin Xia watched for nearly an hour. Customers came and went, but no one even glanced at the empty table by the window. Even the waiters carefully walked around it, as if the empty chair belonged to someone who had not arrived yet. Finally, Lin Xia asked a waitress a simple question. "Why is that table always empty?" The young woman suddenly stopped smiling. Without answering, the waitress quietly walked into the kitchen. A few seconds later, an elderly man stepped out instead. "My name is Mr. Chen," he said gently. "You've been watching that cup since you arrived." His voice sounded calm, almost expecting her question. Mr. Chen looked toward the untouched cup before quietly saying, "Some tea is made to be served, and one cup is made to be left alone." Lin Xia looked at Mr. Chen. "What happens if someone drinks it?" The old man didn't answer right away. Instead, he poured fresh tea into the untouched cup, as if repeating a ritual he had performed every single day. "I don't know why it happens," he finally said. "I only know it has never failed." He opened an old wooden drawer and took out a faded photograph. "This was David," he said. David was a backpacker from Australia, curious, friendly, and convinced that every mystery had a logical explanation. He laughed when locals warned him never to touch the last cup. To him, it sounded like another tourist legend. That afternoon, David walked into this very tea house and noticed the lonely cup beside the window almost immediately. Before anyone could stop him, David smiled, picked up the untouched cup, and took his first sip. Nothing happened. The tea tasted smooth, warm, and completely ordinary. David even smiled and asked for another cup. The other customers relaxed. Perhaps the old stories had always been nothing more than local superstition. Only Mr. Chen looked uneasy. He had seen this silence before and knew it never lasted. The next morning, David reached for his camera, then paused. For several seconds, he couldn't remember where he had planned to go. He laughed it off. Everyone forgets little things sometimes. It didn't seem worth worrying about. By afternoon, another question bothered him. Why had he come to this town in the first place? David searched through his phone for the answer. The photos were there, the hotel booking was there, but the reason was gone. Mr. Chen finally opened the old wooden box. Inside were dozens of faded photographs. Every face was smiling. Each photograph captured a different traveler, sitting beside the very same window where the untouched cup always waited. One photograph made Lin Xia stop breathing for a moment. David had taken the picture himself, only minutes before drinking the last cup. Lin Xia quickly checked the police archive on her tablet. David's photo wasn't there. "They removed the photographs?" Lin Xia whispered. Mr. Chen slowly shook his head. "No. People simply stop remembering they ever existed." Mr. Chen picked up David's photograph. then quietly turned it over. On the back, only one word was written. Lin Xia left the tea house before sunset. If David had really disappeared, someone in town had to remember him. She showed David's photograph to a street vendor. The woman smiled politely, then slowly shook her head. A boatman studied the same photograph for several seconds. "He looks familiar," he whispered, "but I don't know why." At David's hotel, the receptionist found his reservation within seconds, but couldn't remember ever meeting him. His backpack was still in the room, his passport, his clothes, everything remained except David. Then Lin Xia noticed one final detail. David's passport had no exit stamp. Officially, he had never left the town. That night, Lin Xia returned to her hotel and reviewed every interview she had recorded that day. Every interview sounded exactly as she remembered, except one. The boatman never said, "He looks familiar." Instead, the recording captured only silence. Lin Xia replayed the video 3 more times. It never changed. She opened her notebook to compare her notes. One sentence had disappeared. For the first time, Lin Xia couldn't remember whether she had written that sentence or only imagined writing it. The next morning, Lin Xia rushed back to the tea house. Mr. Chen was already preparing 6 cups of tea. There were 5 customers waiting outside, exactly as yesterday. Then a 6th traveler walked toward the entrance. Lin Xia ran outside and blocked his path. "Don't go in," she pleaded. The traveler only smiled, thinking she was joking. Mr. Chen gently stopped Lin Xia. "You can warn them," he said, "but you can't choose for them." The traveler chose a seat by the window. Mr. Chen quietly placed the last cup in front of him, then stepped back. The traveler reached for the cup. Then he noticed David's faded photograph lying on the table beside it. He quietly stood up and walked away. Mr. Chen picked up the untouched cup, looked at Lin Xia, and said, "Sometimes remembering one stranger is enough to save a life."